And like, let's dive into it, right? So what is this, the art and science of selling higher end real estate? Like what's the difference between doing that and just selling homes that are in like the bottom 75% of your price point? What's the difference about selling those that are in the top 25% of your price point? Well, a lot of things are different. And before we get into that, though, I just want to say, hey, thanks for being here. My name is Jonathan Zabraki, and I am a realtor just like you. So I am not a professional speaker, not a professional motivator. I'm not some theorist, which is like, gosh, I wonder if this will work. This is like real stuff that really works. And I used to struggle. So I've been a realtor for 16 years. My first 2 years were good. My first year I did like a little over 10 million in sales. My second year I did a little over 14 million in sales. But at the end of that second year, my wife came to me and she's like, you got to either find a different job or you got to find a different way to do residential real estate. And I got it, right? Because I was like working all the time, kind of stressed out all the time. And so I had to create a different way. And so what I did is I said, okay, I have to put all these real estate books and seminars and things that I've been to and put them over here on the shelf because all they're telling me to do is like work harder, right? Or chase after shiny object stuff, right? At that time, it was like, newspaper ads, magazine ads. Today, the shiny stuff is like websites, social media. You don't need that stuff, right? And so that between that second and third year, I started doing real estate a totally different way. And I started doing it more with putting the consumer first. And I know it sounds really strange and basic, but just putting that consumer first. And the results were great. At the end of that third year, I did 27 million in sales, which I wasn't expecting, but I'll take it. But the best part is I worked a lot less. And what I learned and what I discovered in that third year of my residential real estate career was this. Number one, help 23 buyers and sellers out a year, like 23 families out a year. Number two, what I learned from that was that, oh my gosh, anybody, like if I can do this, anybody can make over $500,000 a year selling residential real estate, starting from scratch, from zero. What I also learned was that when you work with those 23 people, it's really important to attract the right people, okay? So who you attract, who you work with, like client selection, that's like massively important. And so for me, a premium buyer seller, as I now call it, has got a couple criteria. Number one, they're generally married. So it's like mom, dad. Number two is they generally have 2.2 kids. Now I know you can't have 2.2 kids, but you get my drift. Number three is they have a cat, they got a dog, and they got a pet turtle. Number four is they just want to buy or sell at market price. That is really critical. And you add all that together, you have somebody who is very busy. You have somebody that's buying or selling in the top 25% of the price point. So they've been around the block a few times. They've interacted with some traditional realtors, which is great because when people interact with myself, they quickly notice that I'm not a normal traditional realtor. And these people are motivated, right? They got to take Billy to soccer practice, Sally to dance class. He's got to get to this. She's got to get to this. They just want to buy a home and have it done in like 45 days or under, right? Or I just want to sell my home and just have it done in like 45 days and under and just be like done with it. And that is really, really important, that client selection. So that all came about because, and I'm going to share my screen here. I did this, and we'll do this exercise together. Let's see here, share screen, shabam. Okay. Whoop. All right. Should come up. Sweet. Here's my pad of paper. I love me some Diet Pepsi. Especially in a wine glass. Makes me feel like fancy. All right, so Freedom Multiplier. This is one of the things that drastically changed my world. Freedom Multiplier is this. Number one, you got to decide, not the market, not if it's a buyer's market, a seller's market, not if interest rates are high or low. All that stuff's immaterial. You got to decide, number one, is how much money do you want to deposit every time you work with someone? It's kind of a really simple question that many times we as realtors don't think about, but it's really quite critical. And I'll give you guys my cell phone so you can text me your answers to this if you want, or you can, there's probably a chat box on here somewhere. You could probably type something in chat box wise. If you want to text it to me, you can. My cell number is 858-212-1245. But number one is, how much money do you want to deposit? And we don't have to think about it that long. Just like what comes to your brain, right? So let's see here. See if I can take a look and see what people are saying in the chat box. That's hilarious. I don't know how to run technology stuff. Someone was asking me today, like, do I need social media or a website to sell higher end real estate? I'm like, nah, I don't do any of that. So awesome. So I can't see what you guys are putting in the chat box, but maybe I'll find it here shortly. So type it in the chat box or text me. All right, so 15,000 is how much check somebody wants to deposit. 10,000 every time they help somebody out. 20,000. 45,000. Sweet, awesome. There is no right or wrong answer, right? The answer is just whatever you decide to do it. I guess there could be a wrong answer if, like, hey, I want to deposit, $100,000 checks, but I live in a town where there's $200,000 homes. That's going to be a tough one because you're going to have to charge like a 50% commission, which most sellers aren't going to want to pay a 50% commission. So cool. Now that we got this number of how much money we want to be depositing every time we help somebody out, the second box is, what other qualities do you want these people to have? And what I mean by that is, let's see. Let's theorize for a little bit, but that's probably a bit facetious. We've all had people that, like, they're going to buy or sell at a decent price point, but oh my gosh, they're just like, people that were like, these people are donkey butts, right? They're driving us nuts. So we don't want that. We want to work with people that, number one, they're like in that top 25% of our price point, but also number two is they're just cool. They're just cool people. So what would be some criteria that you would be like, gosh, if I could just work with ideal clients, buyers or sellers, that were going to, deposit this kind of money into my bank account because they're buying or selling at a certain price, but also they just have these qualities. Excuse me, what would those qualities be? So type them in the chat box, or you can text them to me. Besides somebody just buying a home at a certain price point, what other qualities do we want those people to have? Type them on in the chat box, or you can text them to me. I figured out how to use my chat box, so I'm pretty pumped. Know what they want. Awesome. I'm going to jot that down. It's a great one. Gosh, so fun to work with buyers and sellers that know what they want. What else? What other qualities would we love to have? Like, oh my gosh, we could just wave a wand. Oh, they're honest. I love it. Honest, not sleazy. Perfect, Matthew. Friendly, they're fun, they know what they want, they're easygoing, they just get it. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They trust you. You can trust them. They're carefree. Awesome. Oh my gosh, those are so cool, guys. Sweet. So yes, I'm going to erase this here. I'll put down some of mine. So I'll share you the criteria that for me that is really, really important. A cool person is, as I mentioned, they're like busy, right? So what I mean by that, they're married. They have 2.2 kids. They got the cat, the dog. They got the pet turtle. They're busy people. Yeah, Scotty, 100% on. They are willing to buy or sell at market price. And that MP is really big, right? Buy or sell at market price. So for me, that's like that person goes to a restaurant and they have a hankering for a hamburger. They're going to get a hamburger no matter if it's $3, $5, or $30, right? Or it's that person that goes to Starbucks coffee and they're going to pay $5 for that cup of coffee, even though they could make it at home for, 35 cents, or go to the gas station and get it for $1. It's like, I really don't care what that price is. I just want it, So cool. Nice. Those are mine. They're very, because they have these things here, they have to be very decisive. Like they just don't have time to waste, right? So awesome. Something we have to ask ourselves, before we go on to box 3, is in box 2, we're generally a mirror of who we are, right? So if we're stressed out, we're generally going to attract people that are stressed out. Does that make sense? So if we want to attract somebody who's like honest, like we need to be ultra honest, right? If we want to attract somebody who is like knows what they want and they're willing to go for it, we got to be that person that's like, gosh, I know what I want and I'm willing to go for it. So cool. So now we're in the third box. And the third box is great because the third box is now, it's up to you and it's up to me. So this third box is, well, what qualities do I got to put on so that I just massively attract this person that's here, this person that's here? What qualities do I need to improve upon or develop in myself that's going to make that person in box 1 and box 2 go like, oh my gosh, we want to work with you. You're our person. Type some of those things in the chat box. Or you can text them to me, whatever is easiest for you guys. Know what I'm doing. Have a process to work with. Be fun. Don't waste their time. Sweet. Yep, those are great. Cool. So when I first got into residential real estate, I worked with this gentleman named Steve Westmark. And Steve, he had sold over 3,000 homes. And gosh, I had sold 0 homes, right? So I was like, Steve, how in the world am I going to get somebody to buy or sell with me when like you've sold 3,000 homes? And he's like, let me tell you what it is. And he says there was a survey that was done by a university out of the state of Washington. And they actually surveyed people and asked buyers and sellers what they want in a realtor. And it was not what typical realtors think. It's not what, the NAR puts out there, right? There were 4 things that like massively came to the forefront of what people want. And Steve was like, all you've got to do, Jonathan, is just do those 4 things and work on those 4 things. And you will attract people that are in these top 2 boxes. And you're going to repel people that are not in those top 2 boxes. I was like, awesome. So what are those things, Steve? He said, well, they're these. We'll start with the first one, friendly. And I was like, okay, it's got to be more than that, Steve. He's like, well, just think about that for a second. How can you tell within 10 seconds of meeting somebody if they're friendly or not friendly? And I guess I'll ask you guys that question. Type it in the chat box. How can you tell within 10 seconds of meeting somebody if they're like friendly or not friendly? Smile, body posture. Sweet. Smile, interested in you, make eye contact. Awesome. All right. And then Steve told me, he's like, awesome. So how much does it cost to smile? I was like, well, it costs 0. He's like, nah, it costs looking dumb. Like you might smile and somebody might not smile back at you. So that cost is you're going to have to potentially have the cost of looking dumb. But he's like, correct. Money-wise, costs 0 to smile. Body posture costs you 0, right? Making eye contact, 0. So I was like, man, this is awesome, Steve. What else is on this list? He said, well, friendly is number 1. Number 2 is caring. I was like, okay, caring. So how do you know within meeting somebody within 10 seconds that they're a caring individual? What are the telltale signs of somebody who's caring? Ask about them. Yeah, ask about their family. They tend to ask good questions, and then they tend to actually do this thing called listen. So you actually listen to people's answers. Go above and beyond. Love it. Yeah. So listening is so critical, right? And so there's so many traditional realtors out there who are like, teach me how to sell. Teach me how to sell. And it's like, great, I'm going to teach you how to listen. I'm going to teach you how to ask phenomenal questions and then listen, because that's going to draw cool premium buyers and sellers into you a lot easier than trying to sell them. So we got friendly, we got caring. The third one is 2 words actually, energetic, magnetic. Oh, and by the way, caring costs $0, right? So to ask a great question, to listen to somebody's answers, it's free. Cool. So energetic, magnetic. How in the world can you tell within meeting somebody within 10 to 30 seconds if they're actually energetic and magnetic? What are the telltale signs of that? If somebody's energetic, magnetic. Now, the way they talk, they listen, kind of goes back almost to friendly, right? They're just like a friendly person. They're energetic about life. They're like, oh my gosh, it's sunny today. How cool is that? Or if today was rainy, it'd be, oh my gosh, it's raining today. How cool is that? So being positive is like super, super critical. Sweet. And then number 4, okay, perfect. Number 4 is servant. And what I mean by servant is like a doctor. So not like a servant, like, subservient person that kind of does whatever somebody wants them to do, but servant in more of a doctor mode. And a servant is, I'll tell you, there are a couple things. One is they're very truthful. They're very honest, brutally honest. And they do it in 2 forms. They do it where they turn the love knob way up and they turn that fear knob way down. That's a great doctor. And a great doctor earns a lot of income, right? And they have a lot of status along with it. Well, we as realtors have that same opportunity. We can earn a really good income and have people look at us in a very positive light if we choose to put on these things that the Freedom Multiplier is about, and really my complete proven signature system is about. So then number 4, we just have to ask ourselves, well, great. How much money do I want to make a year? So when I'm able to cash these checks for this amount, every time I'm working with a buyer seller, let's say my number is 30,000 and my goal is to make 300,000 of income. That means I need to help out 10 people, buy or sell a home. If my number is 30,000 and I want to make 600,000, well, that means I need to help out 20 families a year. So what would be your number? What is your number in the 4th box? Number 1, what is the number of how much do you want to make in the next 12 months? And then what does that mean? How many families do you actually need to help out so that that goal is achieved? And type your number in the chat box. Help out 25 families, make 500,000. I love it. So that's basically, if I'm thinking of my math right, 20,000 every time you help somebody buy or sell a home. Someone texted me 400,000 of income. Someone texted 180,000 of income. Sweet. There is no right or wrong, but it's very important. Like, you have to know what you want before you can even start to try and help out a buyer seller get what they want. Does that make sense? So if you're attracting buyers and sellers who are kind of clueless and like, I don't know what I want, just the right home will fall in my lap when it happens, you gotta like look in the mirror and go like, oh my gosh, am I really clear on what I want? And that's number 1, very important. You got to have this vision of what is it you want. And that's something I help realtors with, is I help them create a 3, 5, and a 10-year vision as to what it is they really want. But even more important than that, it's, okay, what is the pathway to get there? Because we don't just want to be like, yep, we want to lose 40 pounds of weight. It's like, okay, what's the path? What is the plan? What is the daily actions I got to take? What are the weekly actions I have to take to accomplish that? And I'll get into that here in a little bit. I'm going to erase this here with the Freedom Multiplier because I want to show you how simple these numbers are if we just allow it to be so. And I wrote these down the other day, but a realtor can make $356,000 of income by helping out 23 families a year if they just buy at 300,000 and sell at 200,000. That's like pretty crazy. Then, if a realtor wants to make more than that, I'm not like, hey, let's sell more homes like traditional real estate coaches, mentors, that kind of stuff. I'm like, let's just go up in price. So let's say we go and now we help people who are going to buy at 600 and they're going to sell at 400. Well, now that income is 713,000 of gross commission income. And this is based on a 2.5% when I help somebody buy a home, and it's based on selling of 4%. So I teach realtors how to do a 6% commission or more. And when it is a 6% commission, you guys keep 4% and you pay out 2%. Or somebody says, hey, there's homes in my area that are more than this 600,000. That's not even the top 25% of my marketplace. And it's like, great. We'll help people buy $900,000 homes. They're going to sell their $600,000 home to get into that. Now you're at $1,070,000 of gross commission income. All by helping out 23 buyers or sellers a year. Pretty sweet. Okay, so how do we get into that? Well, part of it is our opinion of ourselves and our confidence level, right? So I'm going to quickly go over this because sometimes we are fearful about doing something new, or sometimes we are fearful about going for a higher price point than what is. Awesome. Love it, Matthew. You can be the first one in your marketplace to do it uneven then. Because what's the cool part about it, commissions are not fixed. So you can charge whatever you desire, and you can pay out or keep whatever you desire. And the cool part about it is in today's market, like 15 years ago when I started in residential real estate, the realtors had all the power because they could, the homes weren't online. Today, practically every home, scratch that word, every home is online, and the buyers have all the power. So I've even done it where I pay out a 1% commission. I'll charge 7, I'll keep 6, I'll pay out 1, and that home sells just as good as if it was split, 50-50, because the realtors are not buying the house. The person buying the house in today's market is the actual buyer, and they, good, bad, or indifferent, they don't care what a realtor gets paid. Kind of sad. I wish the public cared what we got paid, but they just don't care. Just like when we go to Starbucks coffee, we don't really care if those employees have great health care. We don't really care if they got daycare for their kids. We don't really care what their wages. We just want that $4.79 cup of latte something grande. Cool. So confidence. How do you, draw this out. I'm going to go quick on this. But there's 4 boxes. Low, high, low, high. Without understanding this concept, selling higher end real estate is going to be really, really challenging. So, opinion of others, opinion of ourself. When we have a low opinion of ourself, opinion of ourself, opinion of ourself, when we have a low opinion of others, we are cynical. We're just a cynical person, right? Like, we're like, oh my gosh, I think other people are dumb. I'm kind of dumb. So it's just a perpetual cynical cycle. Cool. When we have a high opinion of others and a low opinion of ourselves, we're going to be in this box here, right? High opinion of others, a low opinion of ourselves. we're going to be very like sheepish, because we're going to be like, oh my gosh, these other people are so much better than me, right? When we have a high opinion of ourselves and a low opinion of others, that's this box here, we're going to be arrogant, right? We're going to be like, I just know better than everybody because I'm this perfect greatness and other people are not. And so much of traditional real estate are in these boxes, right? And it's like we're taught to like almost put our chest out, right? Have a high opinion of ourselves, a low opinion of others. Like, hey, this is my list price sales ratio. This is my, I've sold these amount of homes, or I've done this, or I've done that. Joe Q Public really doesn't care. Oh, well, Joe Q Public does, but the higher end people, they don't care. They just want the job done. Does that make sense? Just like when we go to Starbucks coffee, we don't go there and go, hey, I want to buy a cup of coffee, but before I do, I got to ask you, how long have you worked here? How many times have you made the coffee? And that kind of thing. No, we don't even ask that question. Cool. So when we have a high opinion of others and a high opinion of ourselves, that is like healthy confidence. That's what we need to put on way more than probably what we're currently putting on, right? Is this high confidence, meaning I just love humanity. And since I have a high opinion of humanity, I'm a human. So that means I have a high, healthy opinion of myself. Now, if we don't have a healthy confidence, what are some ways we can improve upon that? Because without this, selling high-end real estate's tough. All right, so 3 things real quick. Stop hiding. We've got to stop hiding. We've got to get out there. We got to stop living in our basement. Does that make sense? Hiding would be somebody asks a question, we don't want to answer it, so we change the topic. Stop doing that. Number 2 is stop apologizing. We've got to stop apologizing. What does that mean? Somebody asks, like when I first moved to San Diego, I went on one of my first listing presentations, and the person asked me, hey, so have you ever sold any homes in San Diego? Well, hiding, I could have been like, go on to the next question, right? Kind of sweep it under the rug. Apologizing, I could have been like, you know what? I've only lived here in San Diego for a little while, and no, I haven't, but ... But what I need to do, the 3rd, is just accept. Just accept it, right? So what I mean by that is they go, hey, so how many homes have you sold in Poway? Oh, great question. I've sold 0. I'm just accepting it. And that's like super, super critical to basically just accept the fact, right? Just accept it. So what I want you guys to do, it looks like my screen kind of pooped out on me, is I will draw here and you guys can see on my screen. The art and science of doing higher end real estate is just that. It's a triangle. Now the triangle, there's only 3 parts to this. And this is to any great business out there, is you gotta have leads. You gotta meet with people, meet with the leads, and then you decide, do we like work together, thumbs up, or not work together? So it's kind of like that. Now on the leads, the way I do it is it's 16 cool premium leads a month. Because when you interact with 16 cool premium leads a month, you're going to end up meeting with 8 of those people. It's just like law of averages, right? Especially with my system. So then when you meet with these people, 8 of them, and you are brutally honest with them like a doctor, not all of them are going to want to do business with you. That's okay. But you're going to end up working with 2 of those people a month. And as we did the math earlier, oh my gosh, if you're working with people that are at $600,000 buy and that same person's got a $400,000 sell, that's basically, what is that, $31,000 commission check that you're going to get at closing. And you do 23 of those, that's $713,000 of income within a year. That's pretty sweet. So how do we attract these people? That's the biggest thing. Well, there's 2 big things. I guess really 3. If we go to this triangle here, what I've developed is a way that every time I'm helping out a cool premium buyer seller, they almost naturally and gladly introduce me to 1 or 2 cool people just like them before we close on their transaction. That's awesome, right? That just makes my life a lot easier. That'll make your life a lot easier. Then the second thing is this initial consultation. Now, my initial consultation, it's really different. So when I get a call, it doesn't matter how the lead comes in, I go, hey, how much do you know about me? What makes me different? And how I really benefit people like you? And I would jot that down. I'll say it again. So you get that lead. Usually within 20 seconds, I'm saying, hey, how much do you know about me? What makes me different? And how I really benefit people like you? Now they're expecting, well, one, they say, I don't know anything about you. And it kind of breaks my heart sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've sold a lot of real estate. Nobody knows me, but I get it, right? So they usually say, no, I don't know anything. The next thing they're expecting is for me to ramble on about blah, 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 and how great I am. Because that's a traditional realtor, right? I don't do that. The next thing I say is, hey, so it sounds like we should meet for a 10-minute initial consultation. The first 5 minutes is, again, it's about me, but it's really about how different I am and how I really benefit you guys. And then the next 5 minutes is I'm going to ask you 5 to 7 questions to really find out, should you move or should you just stay put? So, and then I look at my calendar. On my calendar, it tells me the times I have available, just like a doctor, right? And I say, hey, I have this day available. Let's go do it. And I usually take them out to pizza. I take them out for a donut, something really like pretty simple and basic, because I'm a pretty simple person. Like, I don't need to go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse to meet somebody. We can just go to the Krispy Kreme donut. I'm cool with that. And I'm telling you, I'm looking for higher end people that are low stress, right? I don't want drama. I'm not looking for the prima donnas. I'm not looking for the person that wants to buy a house that's got African granite from Kenya that's 112 years old. I'm just looking for that person that's like, we're busy. We're in too small of a home. We want a bigger home. We want a nice pool, ... Sweet. Awesome. So I'm constantly doing 2 things. Wish my little thing was working. But write somewhere, attract and repel. We need to make sure we're doing both. Attract and repel. Attract and repel. Sweet. So then I do my initial consultation. It's 10 minutes. It's very, very different, like ultra different than a traditional realtor. They notice that because these are not first-time home buyers. They bought or sold a few / many homes before, and they're either like, we love you, this is going to be great, or they're like, you're just too casual for us, we're not interested. And that's cool too, because I'm only looking for 2 out of the 8 people, and I'm going to make $700,000 of income. So the only question left is, great, how do we get those people, right? That's the leads. Well, there's 11 different ways that I go about attracting those leads. And from each of those 11 ways, I've earned a little over $300,000 of income within 12 months from each of the 11. So if somebody is like some massive overachiever, you could do all 11 in 1 year and you'd make whatever that math is, 3.3 million of income. The 11 ways, I'll go over them real quick. The 11 ways are open houses. Well, I won't even write it on there because you guys can't see that. So the 11 ways are open houses, but they're doing them a different way, right? Most realtors really, really mess up their open houses, or they're doing open houses not in the top 25% of their price point. So I'll teach you how to call 3 to 20 realtors. Either they're in your office or out of your office. It doesn't matter. Call 3 to 20. Say these right things. Call on these homes that are in the top 25%. 1 out of 20 realtors is going to be like, yep, you can do the home open. Then I'll teach you what to do at that open so that you attract really cool people and you repel the duds. So somebody I just helped this with, Tom, he's out of Washington. And Tom put this into practice his first weekend. And he got a little over $117,000 of gross commission income in the hopper just from doing the open house this one way. Then there's U200. So a lot of people have these databases that are full of thousands of people. I'm like, no, we cap it at 200, but we do 3 things with them monthly so that they love you. And then we do an E25 event. This is something you do every single month with 25 people that, again, just continue to build that relationship with cool people. It doesn't have to be past clients, doesn't have to be current clients. When I first moved to San Diego, I knew nobody. So it just started meeting people. I'll tell you where to go to connect with those people. And then print media. I'll tell you what to do and what not to do. Online media, there's only 2 sources to do. The rest of them are junk. Tuesday, Friday update calls, like I had mentioned earlier, right? It's the 6-step process that gets people to go like, yep, I want to introduce you to more cool people because you're kind of cool. That's what that Tuesday, Friday process is. I'll teach you how to connect with a lender so that you get $1 million of business a month from this one lender. I'll teach you how to find a builder, national or custom, or both if you desire, that'll send you $1 million of business a month, and then 3 other ways. And the way all this stuff is taught, because it's pretty in-depth, is at my 3-day event. And at this 3-day event, well, in fact, if you get a chance, you could probably go to it right now. If you go to profitsandpassions.com, let me see here if this will pull up. So profitsandpassions.com, and yep, it pulls up. Sweet. So if you click on this here, it'll show the next event that I'm doing. And these events, they're limited to 30 realtors, right? And the reason I do that is because I want to make sure you walk away with a really clear picture of how you can add $300,000 of income to you within 12 months. In fact, I even guarantee it. If you click on this tab here, it's guaranteed. So by the end of that 3rd day, I guarantee you that you'll have all the information how you can add $300,000 of income to you within 3 months. And if for some reason you're like, hey, I just don't feel that or see that or whatnot, just let me know. I refund you back 100% of what you paid. We part as friends. You keep all the materials. Oh, so that's pretty cool. So at the 3-day event, I give you a couple things. I give you the exact brochures that I create for my sellers. They're 12-page brochures. In fact, when you sign up for the event, you're going to get templates of a lot of this stuff electronically. And then when you sign up for the event and at the event, you get a hard copy of Guide to Your Success. This is about a 104-page manual, which goes over everything, all 11 different ways of how to attract cool premium buyers and sellers, like step by step by step. In fact, once you sign up for the event, I send that over to you electronically. And I want you to succeed so much in this that I do these 4 bonus calls before the event even happens. And so when you sign up for the event, there's going to be 4 bonus calls. The first one, I think it's August 15th. And then it's every week after that. But on that first bonus call, I'm going to be going over with you for an hour on a live call my exact buyer and seller presentation, that initial consultation I was talking to you about. Like that alone will change your world. And then on the second bonus call, I'm going to go over 2 out of the 11 ways that I love to attract premium buyers and sellers. And the cool part about it, the cost to implement that per month is less than $300 to you. So the way to get these cool premium leads is not a lot of money. And I should stress, I don't do any FSBOs. I don't do any expireds, no social media, no websites, none of that stuff. This is all about basic mastery of principles that work in pretty much any industry, but they really, really work well in higher end real estate. And then in addition to those 4 bonus calls that we're going to have, what I want to do is at the end of that first day. So the first day is 8 to 5, second day 8 to 5, third day is 8 to noon. At the end of that first day, I want to take you out for drinks, appetizers. You can ask me any questions you want. There'll be some people in my private coaching group that you can ask questions to. Generally, my wife is there, so you can meet her. She can meet you. And I just really want to be an open book for you. Again, I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not a motivator. I'm just a realtor who struggled my first 2 years. And since then, I've sold a little over $403 million of residential real estate. I started 2 real estate companies from scratch. And realtors on those groups, they've sold over $600 million with my system. And now over the last 2.5 years, I've been training this to realtors nationally. And they have sold a little over $900 million of residential real estate. So I love what I do. I love helping people out. But you got to take advantage of this. Does that make sense? You got to take, I guess, the quote unquote risk, invest in yourself, get to the 3-day event. The 3-day event is ridiculously low priced. There's no excuse for you to say like, oh my gosh, I don't have the money to do it. Because wow, right? I always look at stuff and I go like, forget the return on investment, because return on investment is like, if you learn how to add an additional $300,000 of income to you within a year, and it costs you hypothetically $30,000 to learn how to do that, most entrepreneurs would be like, I'm all in. It's a 10-to-1 return, right? Well, the 3-day event isn't $30,000. It's way less than that. If you click on the tab, you'll see that, profitsandpassions.com. But even greater than that is the COI. And the COI to me means cost of inaction, right? What is the cost of you to not do this? So if you choose to continue staying in your box that you're in your world that you're in, and not come to the 3-day event, 1 year from now, most likely your life is going to look somewhat similar to what it is today. And I'm all about 3 things. I'm all about let's lead your life of significance. And that means 3 things. Let's lead your ideal personal life, your ideal business life, your ideal financial life. And let's do that with 3 things. maximum profit, minimum effort, low stress. Maximum profit, minimum effort, low stress. That is a phenomenal residential real estate business to be in, which is what I teach you at the 3-day event. If you have questions on the 3-day event, I gave you my cell phone earlier. You can certainly reach out to me. If for some reason you cannot make it, text me, and I might have another option for you. My phone number again is 858-212-1245. Again, 858-212-1245. I would love to see you there and be one of the 30 realtors that learn this CPSS, the Complete Proven Signature System, that is all about adding an additional $300,000 of income to you by working with 23 cool families on that higher end. I'm a big believer of taking time off. So with my system, I tell people you're generally going to work 40 to 45 hours a week. You're going to work 39 hours a week, generally. 39 to 45 hours a week, and you're generally going to work 40 to 45 weeks a year. So I'm a real big believer of, again, living a significant life, which is like, to me, work-life balance. So I'm very unlike probably any realtor coach or trainer you've encountered in that, number one, I believe, let's just go straight working with the higher end. Number two is we don't have to work every week of the year. Number three is we're certainly are not working over 50 weeks a year. Let's be ultra effective. Let's be like a physician. Let's just get the job done for people. Let's find out what their problem is. Let's give them the solution. So to wrap up, you got to ask yourself this. We did that Freedom Multiplier earlier, right? And you said, hey, I want to be cashing checks at this amount. So let's say I want to be cashing checks at $25,000 every time I help a buyer and seller out. And let's say you help out 2 of those people a month. That's $50,000 a month. You got to ask yourself, well, how much am I depositing right now a month? And maybe you're depositing $5,000 a month, but you want to be depositing $50,000 a month. Well, to me, that means you have a $45,000 a month problem. So how long do you want that pain to go on for? Because every month you choose not to take action and attend my event, you're costing yourself $45,000 a month. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to earn $30,000 a month, and I'm right now earning $10,000 a month. Okay, cool. That's a $20,000 a month problem, right? How long do you want that to go on? And when you click on the tab for the September 10th to 12th event, you will see that the cost to attend this event is ridiculously low in price. The world is set up for you to succeed. You just gotta get out of your own way. I'd love to help you out. I'd love to see you there. I'm excited to do these 4 bonus calls with you guys to get you rolling with this stuff even before you attend the event. I had someone who came to the last event, and before he even came, his name is David Kennedy. He's out of Northern California. He's like, hey, I took one of your things, I implemented it. The cost to implement it was under $200, and I got a $31,000 pending. And now, since the event is a few weeks in the past, he's actually closed that one. So I'd love you to be that next person that gets on these bonus calls, puts just one little bit of this into action, and shabam, starts going, and you start the process of helping and serving cool people, and in the process, depositing checks that are $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 or higher every time that you actually help them out. So awesome, guys. Take advantage of this. click on that button, go to profitsandpassions.com, sign up today. If for some reason you can't sign up, it means that it is sold out, and it's sold out. So have a great day. If you got any questions, certainly reach out to me. My cell number, 858-212-1245. I can't promise you I'll call you back, but I will for sure text you back. All right. See you, rock stars. Have a great day. Bye.